All right, so welcome back, and I apologize for the lack of content, but I have been busy with other things, so I was not able to make a Shuju summon for obviously the Teen Gojo as well as Teen Geto. But today we're going to be talking about my personal favorite character in the entirety of Jujutsu Kaisen, that being Toji Fushiguro, because he is going to be coming out. This video is going to obviously be uploaded on the 28th, and I'm recording on the 27th, so he's coming out on the 30th of January, very, very soon. Now, we're going to have a couple of stipulations, that being if you have X character or if you don't, or, you know, depending on cubes and all of that stuff. So there's going to be different, like, little avenues we're going to be discussing. We're going to talk about just what he's able to provide for the team in general, and we'll also be talking about future characters that are going to be eventually coming out to the game and some other factors. So initially, he is going to be obviously a taijutsu monster. That's all he is going to be doing because of his heavenly restriction. It's also implemented into the game, and he does a lot of damage, right? He does one thing that only one other character in the game is actually able to do, that being Sukuna. And what that is he's able to heal himself every single turn. Now, granted, it's not on the same caliber as Sukuna himself, but the fact that he's able to heal himself is very, very strong because he also has damage reduction in his kit for him, and also having the possibility of evading attacks. And he's able to provoke attacks onto himself only for a small percentage. Now, granted, those attacks can go to other teammates, but the fact that he's able to do that is very, very astounding. The skill 1 is going to be, increasing the enemy's crit hit resistance by a decent amount, 22.5% for 3 turns. Skill 2 is going to be just a normal attack. It's also going to reduce the enemy's damage received reduction effects. It's going to nullify that, which is very good. And the skill 3 is going to do the same thing in terms of damage nullification. It's going to remove that. And also it's going to remove 1 buff from the enemy and attacks, right? And it's going to increase his own break damage. So I don't recommend this skill being used 100% most of the time. Now, you do want to use it when the enemy still has their, their quote-unquote shield up, and if they have any buffs, use that obviously to help your team. The ultimate is just going to be doing massive amount of damage to the enemy, and also every enemy in the vicinity, because it does damage to everybody. So, essentially, that's what he does, right? And so, what I mean by how is he going to compare to other characters. So for global, right, only character he's really going to be competing with is going to be Yuta. And you can make an argument that either or is really, really strong. And that's honestly, that's the case. I mean, you can realistically get away with either or. So if you do have Yuta, honestly, I'd probably say it's probably a 70-30% chance of you skipping and being completely fine. However, on the flip side, if you do not have Yuta, it's probably 70-30 to pull for him. Now, something that a lot of people are discussing in the fact is that, just keep in mind, we're not looking at Sukuna right at this particular moment. We're looking at color units. So you have Toji and you have Yuta. The only other top tier character that's red is Domain Expansion Gojo, and he's absolutely busted. And truthfully, he's more valuable than the other 2 characters, given the fact how Domain Expansion Gojo is indeed a limited character, whereas Toji Fushiguro having reruns in the future. Just what's going to happen, right? He's going to have multiple reruns. Also, given the fact that with the anniversary, there are paid banners for each color, and he is included on that. Also, with the fact that for JP in the future, sometime this year, the hidden inventory characters are going to be thrown onto the standard banner character list. So you have the possibility of skipping him and then getting him in the future, possibly. So another thing to be discussing is the fact that, let's say you pulled for Teen Gojo, right? And you are low on cubes. I would say skip Toji. given the fact that Domain Expansion Gojo, Sukuna, and Zone Yuji honestly are more valuable and just better characters in my opinion than Toji Fushiguro. Now, if you are someone who spends money on the game, honestly, it's entirely up to you, right? Toji's very good. I think I might get him. You know, a little disclaimer: I did make a new account, and I do actually have the new Team Gojo, just because, in terms of like units on the game, not character, but in terms of unit in the game, he's my absolute favorite character in the entire game. I just love his character design. I love how his kit functions. So I had to make a new account to get him, and I do actually have him. I'm probably going to do like 2 multis. I have like 10,000 cubes. I'll probably do 2 multis for Toji. If I get him, I get him. If not, oh well. And then I'm going to be saving for like the big heavy hitter characters. But for the most part, to be completely frank and honest, you're not doing anything wrong for skipping or for pulling. I know a lot of people want to say, oh, because, you know, it's like the, you know, the quote unquote cool thing to do. The hip thing to say is skip him for Anniversary and for Sukuna. But honestly, he's a very, very strong character. And it adds a lot of value if you can get him. Also, if you don't have a very strong red character, because he can easily fill that slot. So for the most part, I would say if you have Yuta, skip him, you're fine. If you don't have Yuta, it's entirely up to you. I would say probably 65-70% skip, save for Domain Expansion Gojo. But that decision ultimately falls onto you, the player. And yeah, I'm going to be doing another character showcase for him. I do have one already on the channel, but I'll do another one to do a little more in-depth as to how to get the most out of him. And, you know, I'll make sure to do these for other characters that do come out. But that's going to be all for me, guys. I hope you enjoy it. I'll see you all within the next video.